Get daily updates directly to your inbox plus subscribe. Thank you for subscribing. Could not subscribe? Try again later. Invalid email. Huddersfield Town take on West Ham United this afternoon in what is set to be a tight Premier League contest between two evenly matched sides. Both are on positive runs, with Town losing just once in their last 6 games and the Hammers resurgent under David Moyes. The Terriers are being touted as slight favourites, surely down to their fine record at the John Smith Stadium, from where only Manchester City, Tottenham Hotspur and Chelsea have emerged victorious, bolstered by the signings of Terence Congolo and Alex Pritchard, with further incomings possible. David Wagner's side are still riding the wave of promotion. Below sports writer Tom Harrell brings you everything you need to know ahead of the game. Who's playing? Huddersfield Town v West Ham United, Premier League. When and where? Saturday, January 13th. Kick-off 3 p.m. at John Smith Stadium. When and where can I watch highlights? The game is not being broadcast live in the UK, although it's being shown in 117 other countries around the world. You'll have to catch the match of the day highlights at 10:30 p.m. on BBC One, with extended highlights available on Sky Match Choice at the same time. Weather forecast. Not much to report on the weather front, with cloud and temperatures of 5 degrees expected to settle in throughout the day. The fairly high wind will make it feel more like 2 degrees, according to the Met Office. Video loading. Video unavailable. Click to play. Tap to play. The video will start in 8. Cancel play now. Who has said what about the game? David Wagner wants Huddersfield Town to show how far they've come with a better display than their 2-0 defeat to West Ham earlier this term. The West Ham game was one of those where we really underperformed. He said, "We expected more from ourselves and it is something we'd like to correct because we are better than we showed there. We want to show a different, better face than the first game and we will try to do this in front of our home crowd." David Moyes hopes West Ham can improve their away form by making better use of their front line. "We nailed it at Stoke and we need that level of performance away from home," he said. "If we can get a few wins away from home it'll make our job a lot easier. We've got players who need service. Chicharito, Carroll, Ayew needs it to feet, so we need to make sure we give them the best service." Any team news? Aside from the possible inclusion of new signing Alex Pritchard, Town will choose from the same squad that travelled to Bolton in the FA Cup, where Michael Heffel and Phil Billing made their returns from injury. Colin Quainer hobbled off against Wanderers, but Wagner revealed his injury isn't as bad as first feared. With a return next week against managerless Stoke City realistic, they will definitely be without Martin Craney and Chris Lowe. Meanwhile, for the visitors, Marko Arnautovic will be back in the West Ham fold after a hamstring injury. Michail Antonio could have a role to play off the bench after making strides in his recovery from a groin strain, although defender Winston Reid will struggle to play a part. Video loading. Video unavailable. Click to play. Tap to play. The video will start in 8. Cancel play now. Tell me about West Ham. David Moyes has found a way to extricate the Hammers from the relegation turmoil they were in when he took over in November. After their season-turning defeat of Chelsea, Moyes' side have been beaten just once in their last 7 Premier League outings. Despite dramatic games against Newcastle United and AFC Bournemouth going against them over the festive period, the Hammers sit in 15th place. With starman Arnautovic back in the fold, they will be hoping to put in a more convincing showing than in their goalless FA Cup draw against Shrewsbury Town. League head-to-head record. HTAFC 22 wins, draws 7. WHUFC 11 wins. Despite Town's historical dominance of this fixture, they have been beaten in 3 of their last 4 encounters with the East Londoners. This spans a League Cup second-round tie they lost 3-1 on aggregate in 1997-98. Second-tier Town, under the stewardship of Brian Horton before he left a month later, won the first leg 1-0 thanks to an Alex Dyer goal, but John Hartson's hat-trick at Upton Park knocked them out. Their 2-year top-flight spell in the early 70s was more successful, Huddersfield winning 3 of their 5 meetings with the Hammers. Any match odds. The bookies can't separate the two sides in what is set to be a tight contest. Sky Bet priced Town and West Ham at 13/8 and 19/10 respectively, with the hosts slight favourites, and the draw at 2/1.